Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Knowledge Academy. The main aim of this lecture is to discuss about the TSPSC General Studies solutions in a very detailed manner. If you like the content of the channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button so whenever we upload a new video, the direct notifications comes to mobile. If any improvements here in our lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely include all those improvements in the coming lectures. So why do waste more time? So let's get started. So now we are going to solve the 21st question. See the question here. What is the meaning of the Naneru in Telangana dialect? So in the question they are asking what is the meaning of the Naneru. So option A angry, option B love, option C peaceful, option D antagonism. So the correct solution of this question is answer B, which is love. So Naneru means love. So let's discuss something more about this one. Now I am going to discuss which are the very important Telugu words and the translation in the English words. So Naneru Kurmi, it can be written as love, gratitude, affection and thanks in the English language. So Naneru Kurmi, it can be written in English as love, gratitude, affection and thanks. So in the question they have given Naneru. Naneru means, so there is a word like love. So that's why Naneru means love. And similarly Malli. Malli means in the English it can be written as jasmine or again. So it is based on the pronunciation. If you take it as a Malli means it is jasmine, but if you stress this letter L, Malli, then it means again, means repetition. So therefore this word is it has two meanings based on the pronunciation. So therefore Randaka means come dear elder sister. Randaka means come dear elder sister. This is used in a very respectable manner for any sisters. So now Penta. Penta in Telugu means in English dung or manure. So the meaning of Penta in English means dung or manure. And similarly Agamya Gocharam. Agamya Gocharam. In English it means confusion. So Agamya Gocharam means confusion and Kodku means in English it is sun. So therefore Alaka. In Telugu we say Alaka, in English it is unhappiness. So Alaka means unhappiness and Digilu. Digilu means in English it is sadness. So these are the very important things here. So Naneru Kurmi means in English it can be love, gratitude, affection or thanks. And similarly Malli, it is based on the pronunciation. If you don't pronounce the letter L very highly, then it is jasmine. But if you pronounce the letter L, which is Malli, then it means again. And similarly Randaka means come dear elder sister. It is used in a very respectable manner. Penta means dung or manure. Agamya Gochara means confusion. And similarly Koduku means sun. And Alaka means unhappiness and Digulu means sadness. So now we are going to discuss the 22nd question. See the question here. Who was the author of Gulamgiri? So who is the author of the book called Gulamgiri? Option A Jyotiba Phule, option B G.H. Deshmukh, option C M.G. Ranade, option D Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So out of the four options, option A, which is Jyotiba Phule, is the correct solution of this question. So let's discuss something more about this one. So now we'll discuss something very important in terms of the Jyotiba Phule. So therefore the actual name of the person is Jyotiba Govindarao Phule. So therefore the actual name of the person is Jyotirao Govindarao Phule. So he was the popularly, so he got some popular names based on his work against the untouchability and also the caste system. So he worked very hard to eradicate the caste system and also the untouchability. So therefore because of those reasons, because of his fought for against of these things, he got some popular names. So the popular names is Mahatma Phule and Jyotiba Phule. So therefore these are the very two important names he got. These are popular names people used to call him. So therefore Mahatma Phule and the Jyotiba Phule is the very popular names for this person. So but the actual name is Jyotirao Govindarao Phule. So therefore he was born in Maharashtra. So he was born in Maharashtra and he founded a Samaj that is named as Satya Sojak Samaj. It means in English Truth Seeker Society. So the main aim of this Samaj is nothing but he was able to join each and every person from different caste systems. So the main aim of the Satya Sojak Samaj is nothing but each and every people from different castes. So from upper caste to lower caste, all people are going to treat in an equal manner. Means they are going to have equal rights. So therefore, all these people are encouraged to join in this Samaj. So that is the reason he was founded. Means for each and individual person of all the castes are treated equally by this Samaj. So therefore, in 1873, he was founded this Samaj. So in the question they will ask, who founded the Satya Sojak Samaj? Then the answer is Jyotiba Phule is the founder of this Samaj. So the aim of this Samaj is nothing but the Samaj is going to accommodate each and every person from different castes. So they are going to get treated as equal manner. So he was founded this one. Jyotiba Phule was founded the Satya Sodhi Samaj, means Truth Seeker Society. So the books, the important books which was written is nothing but Gulam Giri. So Gulam Giri is written in 1873. And also Sarvajanik Satya Dharma. It is also a very famous book which is written by the Jyotiba Phule. And Tritiya Ratna and Ishara. These are the very, very important 4 books. There are so many books, but this is only 4 things which are really repeated in the examination. So therefore Gulam Giri, Sarvajanik Satya Dharma, Tritiya Ratna and Ishara. But in the question they asked who has written the book Gulam Giri. So therefore Jyotiba Phule has written this book Gulam Giri. And he got the title Mahatma for the social reforms because he was worked very hard for the removal of the untouchability and also the caste system. Because of his work, he got the title Mahatma. That is why he was called as the Mahatma Phule. That is why he is called as the Mahatma Phule, because of his famous works for the against of the untouchability and the caste system. So these are the famous things. He was worked very hard for the untouchability and the caste. So for this one, he got the title Mahatma. So this is a very, very important points of this Jyotiba Phule. So he was actual name is Jyotirao Govindra Phule and the famous name is Mahatma Phule and the Jyotiba Phule. He was born in the Maharashtra and is founded the Satya Sudhak Samaj, means Truth Seeker Society in the 1873, because in order to remove the untouchability and also caste system, so he was able to accommodate each and every person from lower caste to upper caste, and each people are going to get it treated in an equal manner and each one is going to get the equal opportunities. And the books, the famous books which is written by this person is Gulam Giri in 1873. He was written this book, and Sarvajanik Satya Dharma and Tritiya Ratna and the Ishara. These are the very, very famous books. So now we are going to solve the 23rd question. See the question here. Who wrote the book India Today? Who wrote the book India Today? Option A, Eho Home, or option B, R.B. Dutt, option C, William Wedderburn, option D, Bibhan Chandra. So of the 4 options, option B, R.P. Dutt is the correct solution of this question. So let's discuss something more about this person. So his actual name is Rajan Pal Dutt. His actual name is Rajan Pal Dutt. So in short form we write is R.P. Dutt. He was a journalist. He was basically a journalist, and also he belongs to the Communist Party in the Great Britain. So he was belonged to Britain, the Communist Party in the Great Britain. So he was basically a journalist and also he belongs to Communist Party. So he was born in Cambridge. So it is present in the England. He was born in the year 19 June 1896 and also in 18 year 20 December 1974. So what is his famous books? So the famous books in his period is, he wrote the famous books is India Today. India Today is a very famous book, is regarding the India, and similarly the sabotage of Europe and the end of Gandhi, Wither China, India, Indian Awakening, Left Nationalism in India. This is a very famous books which is written by this R.P. Dutt, or we call it as Rajan Pal Dutt. So India Today, the sabotage of Europe, the end of Gandhi, Wither China, India, Indian Awakening, Left Nationalism in India. So these are the very important points. But in the question they asked, the India Today book is written by which person? So therefore the correct option is R.P. Dutt or Rajana Pal Dutt. He was basically a journalist and is belongs to the Communist Party in the Great Britain. He was born in the Cambridge. It means it is present in the England. So his famous books are India Today, The Sabotage of the Europe, The End of the Gandhi, The Wither China, India Awakening, Left Nationalism in India. This is a very famous books. Almost regarding the books regarding the India, they will ask the question. So therefore India. So you need to remember the books which are mostly related to the India, which is India Today and The End of the Gandhi and India Awakening, Left Nationalism in India. These are the important books which is always asked in any examinations. So now we are going to solve the 24th question. See the question here. What is the reason for celebrating 7th August as National Handloom Day? So what is the reason for celebrating the 7th August as National Handloom Day? Option A, Swadeshi movement. Option B, civil disobedience movement. Option C, Ahmedabad mill strike. And option D, none of the above. So out of the 4 options, option A, this Swadeshi movement is the reason for the celebrating 7th August as a National Handloom Day. So we will discuss something more about this one. So now August 7th is always celebrated each year as a National Handloom Day. Why means the Swadeshi movement was started on the 7th August 1905. See, the main aim of the Swadeshi movement is to boycott all the foreign goods, and only use the Indian made products. So the Swadeshi movement was started to, the main campaign of the Swadeshi movement is use the only Indian products and boycott all the foreign goods. It means that the Swadeshi movement was started because of one reason. So the Bengal was separated, the Bengal was partitioned. So because of the Britishers, this is the reason the people have started this one, Swadeshi movement. So because of this only, they are able to boycott all the foreign goods and only use the Indian made products. So this was the beginning of the independent India. This was the beginning stage of the independent India. So therefore here 7th August 2015. So from 7th August 2015, on this day 7th August 2015, the government of India, it was celebrated by Narendra Modi. So Narendra Modi told that, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi told that on 7th August 2015, from this year onwards, every year on this day 7th August 2015, National Handloom Day will be celebrated. It is nothing but a memory of this one. So therefore, in order to remember this day, in order to remember this Swadeshi movement day, here from every year from 2015 onwards, 7th August is celebrated as a National Handloom Day in order to remember this movement, because it's a big achievement for the Indians to boycott all the foreign goods and only use the Indian products, Indian made products, and respect the Indian products people. So this was celebrated, this every year, this day is celebrated to promote Indian products. So to promote, encourage the Indian manufacturers, to promote them, and do a big salute to the weavers as industry persons. So it was a big salute for all the Indian products, persons who are making it, and the weavers and the industry persons. So in order to remember this day, in order to remember this great day, they have celebrated this day as a National Handloom Day. So now we are going to solve the 25th question. See the question here. Article 14 deals with Article 14. Option A, the right to equality. Option B, the right to property. Option C, the right to liberty. Option D, the right to life. So out of the four options, option A, which is right to equality, means Article 14 is going to deal about the right to equality. So let's discuss something more about this one. So before solve this question, let's discuss something important concepts in the part 3. So it's a part 3 of the Indian Constitution, tells about the fundamental rights. So this part 3 gives the fundamental rights for all the citizens in India, the fundamental rights. So it contains 6 fundamental rights. The first thing is right to equality. So all the persons in India are treated equally. It means if the Article 14 to 18 gives the idea, it gives everything about the right to equality. In the question they asked about, Article 14 deals about which thing? Is nothing but right to equality. So therefore, now the next thing is right to freedom. Right to freedom is Article 19 to 22. So right to freedom is dealt in Article 19 to 22. And similarly, the right against exploitation. The right against exploitation is from Article 23 to 24. Exploitation is nothing but using unfairly for someone's advantage. So therefore, they are going to use unfairly means they are going to make use for work without any pay. So therefore, right against exploitation means they are making to use you for large amount of work, but they are not going to pay any money. So therefore, this is against the exploitation. So it is mentioned in the Article 23 to 24. And similarly, the right to freedom of religion means you can choose freedom to choose any religion you want. So therefore, it's from Article 25 to 28. And similarly, cultural and educational rights. So therefore, cultural and educational rights is dealt in the Article 29 to 30. And similarly, right to constitutional remedies means, so the right to constitutional remedies means is nothing but it is dealt in Article 32 to 35. It means that if any of the fundamental right is against, it is not applicable, then you can go to the court and you can ask for the court to give the fundamental right. So it is the meaning of the right to constitutional remedies. So these are the six fundamental rights which are present in the part 3 of the Indian Constitution. But initially there was a 7th fundamental right. Initially it consists of 7 fundamental rights, but it was removed. So therefore now presently there are only 6 fundamental rights. So the final one is right to property. Initially it was a fundamental right. So it belongs to Article 31. It is present in the Article 31. So initially it was amended. It was a right to property. So it is a right to property, and it was amended means it was removed from the list by 44th Amendment Act in 1978. This is the most important question. So by which Amendment Act this right to property was removed. So therefore, it was removed by the 44th Amendment Act in 1978, and now it is a legal right. Now it is a legal right. Initially it was a fundamental right, but now it is a legal right, and it is present in the part 12 of the Indian Constitution in the Article 300A. So initially it was a fundamental right, but it was removed. It was removed by the 44th Amendment Act of 1978, and now it is a legal right, and it is now present in the part 12 of the Article 300A. So therefore, this is all about this one. So finally, initially there were 7 fundamental rights, but now there are only 6 fundamental rights, and the 7th one was removed from the fundamental right, and now it is a legal right, and it was amended by the 44th Amendment Act in 1978, and now it's a legal right, and it is present in the part 12 of the Indian Constitution in Article 300A. But in our question they asked, the Article 14 deals with, so therefore Article 14 deals with right to equality, means each and individual person is treated in an equal manner, means they are going to get the same amount of laws applicable for each and every person. So by this lecture we successfully completed the 25 questions which are the previous year questions of the TSPSC General Studies. So if you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button. So whenever you upload a new video, the direct notification comes to mobile. If any improvements needed in your lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. You will definitely get all those improvements in the coming lectures. Thank you so much for watching this lecture. Keep smiling, take care, and bye bye.